rumors are spreading about which artist is going to book the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show.
Metallica.
And it's not Metallica. We don't know yet, but there was a false rumor reported that Adele was officially announced as the headliner. That was not true. That was from a parody account, but she is, according to Page Six, still in talks to play the halftime show. I was thinking it would definitely be Taylor Swift because it's all part of her master plan, and she's a witch and is into numerology, so it just makes sense that it would be Taylor Swift, but we have yet to find out. And it reminds me of this ongoing conversation about live entertainment and whether it really has a place in the future of public life going forward. While entertainment has been diversified so much and so much of it is accessible via your smartphone, especially for younger generations, they don't even really seem to have a desire to see musical acts in person anymore. So another reason for that is not just that Gen Z is like not into the idea of leaving the house. It's also that they don't have much money.
There's a $20.
There's a 20
from
there.
IC All.
From IC All. Spider problem. I will eat those spiders. Big spider, small spider, brown spider, dumb spider. No more spoodlers. Spiders are yum yum in my tum tum. Call now 1-800-EAT-SPIDERS.
What on earth?
I have no idea what that means.
Is that, are you the same person paying for photos of Spider-Man? Because that would be J. Jonah Jameson. And if so, he must have a side business killing spiders on top of trying to get photos so that he can have Spider-Man arrested. Continue.
Well, I was just talking about how broke Gen Z is.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that concert tickets these days for pretty much anything are prohibitively expensive for young people. So even if they did have an interest in going to concerts, they wouldn't be able to anyway, unless they're living off of their parents and they're able to pay for it that way. But like, think about the average like okay-ish seats at a Taylor Swift show. Probably in the thousands of dollars. If you even want to go at all, it's definitely in the hundreds. And that means you're not even going to see anything other than a Jumbotron.
I have ideas about a Taylor Swift concert. I've never been, but I did see Tori Amos back in the day. And it was probably 2,000-3,000 seat place. And it was
is that an arena technically or not?
No, that would be a theater.
Okay.
But it was seats. And I mean, it was, when she was playing, it was, 2,000 girls, young girls, just squealing, Tori, you're pretty. Tori, I love you. Tori, you're pretty. And I'm just like, shut up, because I'm trying to hear Tori Amos sing songs, and all I hear is these children squealing, and I'm like, this is a miserable experience. I have been punched in the face at metal shows and enjoyed the show more than that Tori Amos show, so I imagine a stadium full of Taylor Swift fans.
So according, I just went to ChatGPT. The face value original sale price for the Taylor Swift tickets was like $253. At the high end for the Eras tour, again, this is ChatGPT. I'm not clicking the links that it's attaching to. This is from something called TicketLover.com. Says that they were $899 on the high end.
Okay, because I've seen some listed for tens of thousands.
The resale prices were astronomical.
And that's really the problem when it comes to buying tickets for major tours like the Eras Tour, is that they all go up for resale and end up costing tens of thousands of dollars, and then you wait until the very, very last minute, and then once the scalpers aren't able to sell those high priced tickets, they drop the prices like hours before the show to sell off whatever they have left.
But Michael Rapino, the head of Live Nation, wants to just be able to charge you the resale ticket prices now.
Yeah, he was recently speaking at CNBC and Boardroom's Game Plan Conference, and in his speech said that concert tickets are not expensive enough. They need to be more expensive.
Look, and he's hanging out with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Pretty hot take.
He's hanging out with Gwyneth Paltrow. He's like, you know what? Quit being poor.
A little backhanded that they mention his net worth in the article here, $997.1 million. Just not quite at the B. But yeah, he says that tickets have been underpriced for a long time. He compared popular concerts to sports games, insinuating that sports fans actually enjoy spending thousands of dollars on tickets. By this logic, concertgoers should embrace higher prices or at least learn to like it. Music has been underappreciated. In sports, I joke it's like a badge of honor to spend 70 grand for a Knicks courtside seat. They beat me up if we charge $800 for Beyonce.
Yep.
So they then editorialize here. Spending 70 grand on Knicks tickets is only cool if you have 70 grand in disposable income to spend on Knicks tickets. As usual, a millionaire CEO has said something so wildly out of touch that the veil keeping us all periodically shielded from the ever-present threat of late-stage capitalism has thinned once more.
See, that's the problem here. Is like I'm the person who wants to be like, you know what? Concerts should be something that everybody can go to at some and find at some price. And then I hear the term late-stage capitalism. I'm like, never mind. Charge $1 million. I don't even care.
But, you see headlines like this, the CEO of Ticketmaster saying that tickets need to be more expensive, and you wonder why Gen Z is full of communists. They just see shit like this that is basically rage bait from billionaires.
I mean, that's kind of
time.
the argument that I made on IRL one of the last times I was on. There's they're not going to become weirdo free market. Ian was talking about they're going to realize that the Fed is the problem. I'm like, they're not going to know the Fed is the problem. They're just going to ask an authoritarian government to fix the problem. And then we will end up with more communists than we even have now.
You mentioned that Ticketmaster is facing a slew of lawsuits.
I mean, so Ticketmaster and Live Nation, they're literally always the only time I ever see their names mentioned is Live Nation is being sued yet again. They're always facing some lawsuit. Right now, there's one between them and the Department of Justice over antitrust lawsuits, the Federal Trade Commission and State's Attorney General over consumer protection and deceptive practices lawsuit, shareholder class action settlement for misleading statements, and ongoing fan and consumer lawsuits regarding Taylor Swift and the Eras Tour and what they believe were misrepresented stuff during the pre-sale ticketing for all of that. Literally, you could do whole videos on just all of these lawsuits on their own, but it doesn't paint a good picture for what the public feels about them. And one of the things, remember Biden kept bringing up Ticketmaster during his tenure in office and talking about trying to get the government involved with Ticketmaster's practices. So this is nothing new.
Phil, would you say artists have any incentive to push back on this system that's in place?
As in to charge more, or
do the artists on the putting on these tours have an incentive to push back on the monopoly that Ticketmaster has over their tickets?
I mean, there's an incentive, but you're dealing with a really big company, and it's very hard for artists to do things outside of the rules that these large companies have set up.
Can you give a breakdown can you give a breakdown for how the pricing system works? Who sets the prices? Does the band have input in this?
So the bands will set the prices for the ticket. Okay. But there's fees involved with there's all sorts of fees that can be added. You've got tax and Ticketmaster fees or what have you. We try not, for the longest time we tried to make our tickets $20 and below. And we were good. We could do that up until about 2020, 2022, when we came back after COVID. It was all right, we can't do a tour for $20 tickets. So I think now we try to keep them $30 and below. But this is before you put in any kind of fees or tax or anything like that.
And the fees go strictly to Live Nation?
Yeah, the bands don't touch the fee. Yeah. The fee is either, it's not necessarily Live Nation, it could be Ticketmaster or what have you.
I think Live Nation owns Ticketmaster.
So fair enough. It's not something that we have any input on. Yeah. We can set the price of our tickets, and really what you end up, it boils down to how big of a production do you want to carry, right? So you're going to have your bus, your crew. Do you want to have lights of your own? Do you want to just use the lights that are in the venues? That means that you're very limited if you only use the lights that are in the venues. And the show does suffer for that. If you go out as a headliner and you have no lighting package and you don't have a lighting director with a plan for the show, people notice. Yeah. Even if they don't know they notice, they notice. So it's really, it's kind of, it's you really do want to put on the best show you can because you're competing with the internet. You're competing with Xbox, Netflix, whatever whatever service people have for entertainment. And you're competing with the entire internet. So you really do have to give people a good reason to come out. That tends to cost money. That tends to be, because you can play well and perform well, but if you're just standing there, people don't feel like they got a good show. Like, they just don't. If you're just very, like, you have to interact with the crowd. You have to look people in the eye. You have to point at them. You have to make them feel like they're part of the show, or else they're not going to want to come back. And if you can do that without a big, lighting production or smoke or what have you, great. But if you can do that and you have a big lighting production and you have smoke, people are going to feel like the show was better, whether they admit it or not. A lot of people are going to say, "Oh no, I don't."
I'm
need
only
to see
there
that.
for the music.
You know what that
BS.
means they need, Mary? That means they need lore. That's what they need.
Ugh.
Lots of lore.
Look,
Please
that's part of the
spare
reason.
me.
They're gonna start charging lore fees.
Part of the
their
reason.
tickets.
Part of the reason there are so many artists nowadays that come out with like a production that's theatrical is because you have to break through to the audience and you have to convince them that you're worth watching, whether it be, I know you hate them, whether it be a band like Sleep Token or a band like, there's this new band called President where the guy comes out and they're all dressed up in suits and he's got a president's mask on, and it reminds me of the Point Break, the robbers in Point Break, how they all had masks on.
Or the movie Dead Presidents.
Yeah, okay, there you go. But yeah, like whether it be that or, almost everyone has some gimmick, something that they do to try and set them apart. My
Chemical Romance's gimmick is now this whole like mock execution thing that they do on their tour, which I find cringy, but I guess their fan base is into it.
I did like to see, as people were posting the stuff from Gwar the other day, and they're like, it got community noted to point out that they do those executions of like everybody, and
every
isn't,
president.
Yes, yeah, it's not.
So I've known those guys for 20 years. The first big tour, the first really good tour that All That Remains ever did, Gwar took us out, and like it was the first time we ever did a tour where every night was either a packed show or it was sold out, right? Like great tour, amazing. They're the best dudes. They did their best to make sure that we had as much room on stage as we could. And when you've got as much production, because all that stuff is all their outfits and stuff, all the monsters and stuff, they're big and they take up a lot of room when they stage them off the show or off the side of the stage. They did their best to make sure we had as much stage room as we could. They were incredibly complimentary. They were just super good dudes. And so I have a soft spot in my heart for these guys. They were awesome guys. And to see people being like, "Oh, they're killing Donald Trump. It's such a bad thing." It's like, look, guys, they've done literally every single president.
Yeah, people pointed it out. Like,
they've done
when
Paris
was
Hilton.
that?
Well, I mean, that was over I think it's the past weekend or something like that.
When was your tour with them?
We toured with them in 2005,
Okay.
and like they were doing George Bush.
And they did it with Obama as well, I assume?
That was the most common question after I was like, blah, blah, blah. They do everybody. Did they do it to Obama? Yes, they did it to Obama.
Yeah.
They did it to the Pope. They did it to Paris Hilton. They did it to Hillary. Did Hillary Clinton. They ripped Hillary Clinton's boobs off.
No.
They did. They've done every president and like a slew of pop culture people. Now, and then like when they kill them, they chop the head off usually, and they have fake blood that they spurt all over the crowd. And their old singer, his name was Oderus Youngus was his name on stage. His actual name was Dave Brocky. He had a fake penis, and it looked like an alien, and he used to spray the crowd with fake blood from the fake penis and stuff.
Okay.
And
Mary's like, sounds like fun.
But the point is, people are saying, "Oh, this is, it's not a good time for this, etc." And it's like, no, this has been their thing literally since like the 80s. They got started as art school kids in the 80s. Gwar stands for God, what an awful racket, right? Like the name of the band is Gwar. It stands for God, what an awful racket. Like this is their whole entire shtick. So the idea that, oh, they're so bad and they're doing this and it's going to make people violent. No, that is not the case at all. This has been the norm for this band forever. Anyone that goes to see Gwar is not going to be like, "Oh, I saw them and now I want to be violent because of the current thing."
Well, I asked about the artist incentives because I remembered that just a couple of weeks ago when Ariana Grande announced her tour dates for 2026, her fans were freaking out because Obviously, they get in these digital waiting lines before the tickets are available, and I just find it
Was there the one about the lady
too.
who got, like, she bought fake tickets and everybody was trying to tell her she got fake tickets and she
They're
wasn't
getting
listening?
a lot of them are getting scammed. The idea of sitting in a digital waiting line for tickets, just like, I can't imagine anyone with a job doing that. Yeah. Anyone with a job who could actually afford the tickets. But Ariana Grande took measures to prevent scalpers from raising the prices.
How do they do that?
She put out a statement on Instagram saying, "I've been on set, but I wanted to let you know what's been happening with the secondary ticket resellers has been brought to my attention. And of course, I am incredibly bothered by it. I've been on the phone every second of my free time fighting for a solution. I hear you, and hopefully we will be able to get more of these tickets into your hands instead of theirs. It's not right. I just wanted you to know that my team and I see it, and I care very much, and we will do and are doing everything we can. Thank you for your patience and understanding." So it says Ariana Grande and Ticketmaster have implemented strict measures to prevent unauthorized resale of her tickets, including a limit of 6 tickets per person and a ban on reselling through unauthorized sites. She's publicly expressed her dismay over scalpers inflating prices. So here are the restrictions. Ticketmaster has explicitly stated that tickets for the tour must not be purchased with the intention of reselling them, and any tickets bought, resold, or offered for resale in breach of these conditions may be canceled. Fans who can no longer use their tickets are only permitted to resell them through authorized resale sites, specifically advised to check the event page on Live Nation. I
wonder what if Live Nation happens to have a stake in any of those authorized resale sites.
Even Ticketmaster's like performative measures to prevent ticket price inflation benefits them. Yep. So she seems to be one of the only artists actually taking action to try to make her tickets affordable.
Yep. But if you want to take the advice of the CEO of Live Nation, he just thinks we should all stop being poor.
Well, I wonder if these artists benefit from the prices getting inflated on resellers.
I mean, I imagine, well, it seems like what Phil was saying is that they set their prices, but then the inflation through the resellers, that doesn't benefit them at all.
Like the scalpers don't even...
It might benefit Live Nation if they have stake in some of these companies, but I don't see that benefiting the artists.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.